Hello Twin Flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy update. We're gonna jump straight into the reading. It's another busy week. There's a lot going on, but good news, I finally got my archetypes oracle deck with me today. Yes, it's round. For those who have seen the post in the community tab, I didn't post the cards themselves, I realized, but they're pretty amazing. There is a really nice guidebook that goes with it with cool stories about each of the archetypes, really. So we will use this for messages. I don't think I'll be reading the whole article, but at least the essence. We will speak about that and then we'll go into our daily check-in. This is a general reading, so remember to take only what resonates for you. And if you like what I'm doing, please support me and my channel by liking the video and subscribing to this channel so that I can circulate this with more people. All right, so first card will be for Divine Feminines watching. I already pre-shuffled, but just doing a little bit more shuffling and pulling from the middle. Let's see. We got the Animal, 19. Okay, let's see. The beast, the wild one, the she-wolf. We are mammals. Can look at into its eye. The hair on our chest and between our legs reminds us so. We try hard to deny our unrefined animalistic nature. Yet through this archetype we tap into power and direction. Activating the animal within means reawakening our relationship to nature in the most broad and embodied sense. Drinking from waterfalls, roaring at the moon, opening eyes underwater, eating berries from the vine. The life force of our planet begs us to set down the devices, the constraints, and the social constructs, and remember the warm blood that pulses through our veins. The animal longs for breath, food, procreation, and physicality. It wants soil under our nails and starlight on our skin. If this all sounds terribly unsophisticated, take note that it is said that when Buddha became enlightened, he roared like a great lion. Beautiful. So connecting to nature and animalistic self, whatever that could mean to you. I mentioned it over the weekend, well, actually yesterday, but between now and November 2nd, I would say, we would definitely spend more time getting the messages from the ancestors. It's a Samhain season, All Saints Day, Day of the Dead, Halloween, obviously part of that. So we'll be asking our ancestors to come in and guide us. This is a great opportunity to connect to your ancestors if that's something you feel guided to do. So yeah, just a reminder, this is that time. So for some people, what I'm saying is the connection to the nature might actually be somehow connected to ancestors as well, especially since our ancestors just naturally were closer to nature, you know, especially like a few generations back. Think about it for a moment of how dependent they were on nature, on weather, on harvest, all of these things. We still are, but not as directly, and that's why we don't think about it that way. And then for the masculines, we have the Mountain. This is 33, the master number. Let's see. The Mountain stands eternally in our awareness, calling us toward its peak. It stirs up stoic and regal feelings, reminding us of the long line of spirits, sages, sadhus, and gods that made their humble thrones within its snowy peaks. Yeah, mountain generally is considered the symbol of masculine energy. Beware though, as the mountain can affect us in two ways. It can inspire and enliven us to rise to new heights and peak experience, yet it can also create isolation, competitiveness, and an inflated sense of self. Standing upon its heights can activate the purist and the perfectionist in us, creating separation from those we deem to be below, quote unquote. No matter how high you ascend, remember that it is within the core of the mountain that the gems, minerals, and jewels actually reside. If you think it's all about going up, you are following the fool's path and missing the miner's magic. Very interesting. We talk about fool's path a lot in tarot as a kind of a more righteous passage, right? But this is the different aspect of it. It's like a different meaning of it, where it's like you're overconfident in how you see things. You're too set in your ways. I also like the expression miner's magic. We'll use the deluxe tarot today for the main read. And we'll get messages between the twins as the last question. Three of Cups, bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's time to rejoice, to find source of fun, laughter I'm also hearing, and ability to get together, to celebrate. If anything, if we go back to the ancestors again, this is the time, and I mean, of course, the climate, the seasons are somewhat different depending on where you are in the world, but let's say for the northern hemisphere, moderate latitude, this is the time when it's like the end of the harvest season is approaching, right? And this is definitely the time when people were finishing off their work in the field, and they were getting together to rejoice, to be grateful, and to celebrate. Hence all these holidays. In India, we have Diwali coming, and I'll speak about that as well, especially as we get closer to it. 1st of November, so it's similar timeline as those other holidays I was talking about. 10 of Wands, right? So we are, and actually it's very interesting that this person is kind of like working in the field, right? So you're ending the hard work and you want to rejoice, you want to celebrate all the hard work you've put in, or more symbolically, everything that you've been through, you know? It's important sometimes to take a break and acknowledge how much you've been through. Feminines, speaking of which, 10 of Wands, and I saw 8 of Wands in the pre-shuffle, by the way. So it's time to, and the direction is very similar. It's almost like this Wands continuing to this Wands here. You know, the messages that you're getting may not necessarily, like the messages from the universe may not necessarily all be positive or very clear, very transparent, right? They may be confusing is what I'm saying. Some of them may come in as bad news or seemingly bad news, but know that this is actually meant to guide you and to help you deal with the burdens, to help you see the world different and see yourself in the world differently, right? So it's time to stop, either for some people whining, for some people feeling sorry for yourself or others, for some people to just be in the place where you don't really see the solution, right? So you're kind of like, you're in the same place because you don't really see how it can be easier or better, right? So the spirit is saying, we are sending you guidance if you listen, right? And the purpose is to get you out of this rut, to get you out of this current conveyor belt kind of process. I guess that's a decent way to explain that. For masculines, we see 2 nines, 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands. We don't really like to see this kind of nines, but it's interesting because the anxiety and the fear are here because the masculines are approaching an important milestone as well. So they are also getting ready to rejoice and celebrate, leaving the burdens behind. But right now, you can't really see that. It's that point in time where anxiety levels are rising because you're becoming more and more uncomfortable in the current position, or you feel like you're kind of like trying to keep the peace. You kind of trying to make the ends meet in your life, something on those lines. So keep peace between people, but it's only a matter of time until that bubble bursts, right? And there is that feeling, that anxious feeling of like, I can't go on like this much longer. Additional question today. Wow, 7 of Wands clarified by death. It's like re-establishing yourself. For the twins, it's a good chance to reinvent your identity and to show the world the new you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to artificially create some kind of identity. It means think about how you present the new you to the world, right? Because maybe you keep discussing the same topics with your friends that you did years ago, or you keep talking about your life from a perspective of older standards and what you used to be interested in. Whereas there is a big new part of your life that other people won't ask you because they just don't know about it. And you're not used to talking about it, especially if it's about spiritual awakening and things you're learning about yourself and the world, right? So this is a chance to start speaking it out into the world. And that process of speaking it out is going to cause more transformation. What does it mean for feminines more specifically? Wow, the moon and the Hierophant. This is pretty cool. So for the feminines, it means revisiting the templates, the idols, the icons, right? What are the values, right? What are you aiming for? Who or what is your authority, right? Who do you listen to in the time of darkness or in time of doubt? How do you make those decisions, right? Try to put that together, to write it down maybe. Like, let's imagine your friend in distress comes to you and they're in a difficult place and they're asking for your help, for your advice. What would you be helping them with? But maybe take an example of a situation that you were actually in. And then it helps to kind of then look at it from the more objective, zoomed out perspective where you can actually describe it. This is what I would do. But think about describing it to a person that doesn't live in your head and doesn't just do it, right? But you're teaching someone new. How would you do that? That's part of the Hierophant's job, by the way, to share the knowledge, to spread the wisdom. So it's not just about like speak for the purpose of speaking, right? It's preaching, it's teaching through sermon, right? Through public speaking. It's almost like leading by example. Not almost, but actually it is like that. What does it mean for the masculines? 9 of coins clarified by Ace of Swords, another 9. So it's 3 9s that we've already seen. Not seen 9 of cups yet, but we still have more cards to open up. So for masculines, it's about explaining who they are and, you know, what do they want in this life? What does happy mean to them? What's their truth, you know? And even the stories of hardships, of turbulent times, of fears, right? Things that masculines normally don't talk about. This is like being proud of who you are and what you've been through, right? And being able to talk about that honestly. Message from feminines to masculines. We see the Hermit and the Star. Look at all this major arcanas. Wow, this is mind-blowing. Yeah, both of these cards are about healing. So feminines are saying there is a lot of healing that's happening in the world and that we still need to bring into this world. And it starts with us. So at the time where we don't necessarily have access to each other or we don't get to spend time together, this is the time for integrating the wisdom, the divine wisdom, and the energy of healing that we are embracing through our own experiences, and we're helping the world and the collective to embrace and to integrate, right? So this is like this big time for the healing of the body and the mind. And this is helping us become more ourselves, more of who we are, right? So there's a lot of meaning and depth in this time. And, you know, the Star card is also a card of hope. So there's a lot of hope that the feminine has for the better, brighter times to come around. But right now, and actually this card is about like the darkness, and he's got the lantern. This one is not, doesn't look as dark, but the idea is it is a night sky where you can see the star. Right now seems, the times may seem bleaker and darker, but it's only for us to be able to go through this type of experiences and to grow from it, to become wiser from them, and then we can rejoice, and then we can come together and we can celebrate, and we can tell each other about all these crazy adventures we've been through, and we can even learn from those stories. Masculines, you've got the Magician clarified by 3 of Cups, so we don't have 9 of Cups, which means that the masculines feel like their dream, their wish is never gonna come true. There is that understanding of like, I feel like it's just gonna stay like a cherished dream and it's never gonna come around. But the truth is, and this is the message actually from masculine to feminine, masculines want to be in this place of the Magician where they have more power over how things happen. Lately, masculines have felt like they've been helpless and they haven't really been able to influence how the life unfolds, right? But again, there's this hope that they will be able to pick up their sword, to embrace their power, and be able to create the new reality where they can celebrate with the feminines. So when masculines feel this energy to rejoice, to celebrate, especially with the mountain and with those things they've been through, they want to celebrate with the feminine. This is the first person that comes to their mind, and they can't wait until they're there and they feel better, they feel more empowered, and like they're through those burdens, so they can actually breathe out and they can celebrate together with you feminines. All right, so that was the reading. I am gonna leave it here. I hope this was useful to you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and until next time.